Jataro plays all of the horn bearer instruments at once. It's so beautiful that the horn bearers are subdued, and Jataro plays those horns for the rest of the game. He's playing out of his mind. First he was playing the games out of his mind, now he's playing the horns out of his mind. Good day, good people. It's another fine day in the year of the Zenith Toon Link. Dave, Anomaly, the Anomalakars, Chester. Few know me as the man who's ready for more championship action. The journey continues. The dozenth season. I wasn't even sure dozenth was a word, but it is. It is. I was shocked. And that is where we are. Boom and Gloom, Jataro, who's been playing out of his mind, and Klee, who's been throwing bombs and kicking butts and breaking tables left and right. These two are ready to defend those Danganronpa Hunger Games, tag team championships, and it is time to introduce everyone who's here. First of all, Live Chat, how are you? Before we do that, how are you doing? Good? Good, you better be doing good. I hope you're doing good. If you're not doing good, hope this episode makes you do a little better. We got the champs, Boom and Gloom. They became the blue team champions, earned their way to the title match, won the title match, and now they're here. They also earned the block for tag team action. They've been playing out of their minds, mainly Jataro, but now Klee is trying to prove herself. She's trying to do right by her tag team partner, Anthropology. They made it today. Aika had a little bit of a crowning achievement, a crowning moment, and now she's here with Shoka trying to win this whole thing. For the ladies dressed in animal ears. Grand scheme. What can I say about Grand Scheme? They started as champions. Kokichi, you never count out Kokichi. They could very well do it again. They've made it back into a championship match, and they are seeking gold one more time. Brute Force, Sakura, and Mana Tenko sitting out after yesterday's championship match. These two are ready to do this thing. They both have a little bit of something to prove. They both were at AV Mania, and they both picked up losses at AV Mania. Now they want to pick up a win today and become two-time tag team champions. Brute Force, Alice in Wonderland in the same boat, just as wanting to become two-time champions. They won this past season. They want to pick up those titles again. Usami could become a three-time tag team champion because she was the very second ever tag team champion. Took the titles with Kyoko as the Thumbtack Terrors. What a throwback. Unhealthy Obsessions. Corey and Kanan are both looking for some gold for themselves. Tharja is on the sideline because she wants them to put aside their differences. Corey has a rich history of killing Kanan when they were on a team together in the past. Can they work together today? Resolve those issues and walk out with gold. Broken braids. Kyoko and the Raiden Shogun. For Shinha on the sidelines. Kyoko never held gold in this series, but the Raiden Shogun has gotten them to not one but two championship matches, and she wants to do it again today, earning her girls some gold. Titty Typhoon. There's only so much you can say about this about this team, but I'll be frank, it has a lot riding on it. Mew has never been a tag team champion. Try as she might, she's been in this moment before, but she has never held tag team gold. Lumine, last season was her first season, and now she wants to win it all. And Ibuki, who's on the sidelines for them, could become a three-time tag team champion, joining the echelons of Jataro, joining the echelons of Seiko. Kokichi, not many have done it, but she wants to do it today. Nane Achiaki, Kyutaro from Mizuki on the sidelines. It's all about the Mets, baby. The playoffs are happening soon, and the Mets want to start off with Danganronpa Hunger Games Tag Team Gold Unhinged Commanders. Dimitri and Haiji for Munakata on the sideline. All of these competitors, I'll be frank, overlooked at some points. But I think today's the day they might somehow, someway pick up a victory. Do you remember? It is the final day of September. Make it known. The 21st night of September, it might be gone, but the party's still rolling on, and you better believe that Fred's gonna help Ryoko and Bike on the sidelines remember. And what better way to make a memory than with a memento? And what better memento than the Danganronpa Hunger Games Tag Team Championships? And last but not least, your brand new Agents of Chaos Nagito and Setsuna Trapper and Trappee are both here trying to cause, once again, the first ever Chaos Transferal. Could it happen? Oh, it could. Will it happen? I'm not so sure about that. They got a 1 in 12 shot of making it happen. Live chat, comments, first, second, third, make those picks. I'm gonna make mine as well. I'm gonna take Do You Remember? I want them for first, and I think it's going to be them. Because September ends today. And they want to make sure that you remember going on into October. They'll be like, oh, it's October, but you better remember the 21st night of the last month. Do You Remember is walking out with those titles. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Unhealthy Obsessions, I think they're going to put their past aside, work together in tandem like nobody else, and they're gonna win those titles. And third, Titty Typhoon. I'm thinking between Grand Scheme and Titty Typhoon, because you never count out the undisputed one. You never count out Mew, but you also don't count out Kokichi. So, I'll be frank, I think I'm actually gonna pick Kokichi. You never, ever count out Kokichi. Never, ever. So I got him for third. Those are my picks, I think. Those are my picks. That's who I got. Am I concerned? No, not really, I'll be frank. Not really at all. We're just about to have a championship match, and I do believe it is time to find out how many times we simulate. Let's get this bad boy going with the one and the only Pablo. It's Pablo. Oh, my son. My good boy. How are you doing? Look, I know you saw AV Mania. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know what Kazuichi did to you, and he finished the job. He hurt me. We are both victims. Pablo. I'm sorry that I could not get a victory over Kazuichi in your name. It's okay. You got me something? You didn't have to give me anything. Pablo, what you get? It just... Oh! Pablo! It's a new ukulele! Ow, my boy! After Kazuichi bashed me in the head with my old ukulele. We're rolling. I don't know where Asnir is today. I'm not gonna, usually I just toss things over like this and not gonna do that to this ukulele. No. Thank you, Pablo. Let's hear it for Pablo, everybody. We love Pablo in the chat. Let's go ahead. Let's roll Pablo 2 good times. Not once, not twice, for how many? That's why we love Pablo. That's why we love Get out of here, Chester. That's my boy. Let's go ahead. We resimulate not 1 time, not 2 times, not 3 times, not 4 times, but for the spiciest of RNG. We resimulate 5 times. Boom and Gloom, Anthropology, Grand Scheme, Brute Force, Alice in Wonderland, Unhealthy Obsessions, Broken Braids, Titty Typhoon, The Mets, Unhinged Commanders, Do You Remember, Trapper and Trappee, tag team titles on the line, and we're proceeding. It's the bloodbath, and the tributes are on their podiums. The horns, they do sound, they doth sound, and can we please, should we please, shall we please, horn bearers, sound the horns. Alright, let's go for it. We got a show to get on the road, and that show involves the tragic demise of some of your favorite characters. Haiji runs away from the cornucopia. Corey is unable to convince Usami not to kill him. I'll be frank, if you had trouble convincing Usami not to kill you, you were doomed from the start. I think she'd be the easiest one to convince. So maybe Klee would be easy, but oh well. There's no convincing Klee now. We'll keep going. Dimitri finds a 64-pack of Crayola crayons inside of the cornucopia. Satsuna finds a teleporter and teleports into the spare dimension. This sparks a question of who would build a teleporter there. She's just vibing in there, letting the chaos brew. Just brew inside of her. Let it build. Shoka finds half of the tag team champions hiding in the cornucopia. Klee kills her. Wait, I'm sorry, but Klee kills her. Shoka's out of this one. Klee is still in. She's like, oh no. I'm retaining the titles this time around. Mana and the Raiden Shogun fight for a bag. Mana gives up and retreats. Well, yeah, the Shogun's kind of scary. Alice runs away from the cornucopia. Sakura runs away with a lighter and some rope. Hyutaro is beaten to death with a steel chair by Kanon. Goodness gracious, one half of the Mets are out of this one. Ryoko and Kokichi have decide to have a competition to see how many Komodos they can kill this game. Claude came out of solitary confinement to compete today. Klee would know a lot about that. Jataro plays all of the horn bearer instruments at once. It's so beautiful that the horn bearers are subdued, and Jataro plays those horns for the rest of the game. He's playing out of his mind. First he was playing the games out of his mind, now he's playing the horns out of his mind. Nane Chiaki runs away from the cornucopia. Kyoko forces Aiko to start singing "Please Give Me Wings." That's never a good sign. Mew runs away from the cornucopia. Lumine grabs a sword, and Nagito kills Fret with his own weapon. I feel like a lot of my picks have already lost one person, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to proceed instead. As day one begins, Satsuna tries to sneak attack Sakura, but Sakura catches on, runs away. Haiji trips on a comic place banana peel and falls right on his bottom. Aiko, Kokichi, and Dimitri hold an intervention for my pancake addiction. I'll show up. That's a member of the squad. If Dimitri says that I've got a problem, I probably have a problem. And then Aiko, she's just a pure being. I'm not going to pay attention to what they have to say, though. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like the Raiden Shogun? That's a good question. Seven. 8. 7.5. 7.5. I'd say rather high, but I can't give her like a 10 out of 10. Can't give her a 10 out of 10. She's kind of nutty sometimes, but she's coming around. I feel like, you know, after one more, like, why am I pulling out the controller? That's I was getting ready to play like Gensho. I was like, let's look at the Raiden Shogun over here. I'm gonna give her a 7.5. I do like her a lot. Playing as her, I give her about a 9. The character, you know, I feel like I should give her an 8. I'm gonna give her an 8. I feel like I give too many 8s though. 7.8. Alice asked AV if he can be in the World Pancake Championship Invitational. I've denied so many people. Alice, you think you're gonna get in? You dang right you are! Alice, get yourself in that match, my guy, my boy, my homie. Goody goody gumdrops! And speaking of goody goody gumdrops, there's the part where I usually yell, "Aw, Cloud, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous tag team champions and feel the power." Yeah, we're not doing that today. I lied to you. Aw, Claude, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous tag team champs and feel the power. Still, Boom and Gloom. There's no new champ alert yet. But we'll unfold. Let's proceed. Lumine practices her archery. Mana's so excited about her super weapon that will take over the arena, good luck with that, that she wrote a song about it. Kyoko tells Usami that she is a cardboard clone of Kyoko, created by Avi. Maybe I did do it. Kanan sets up an ice cream shack. Mew comes and buys some. It was delicious. Jataro questions his sanity. Klee hands Nagito and Ryoko invitations to her birthday party. They tear up the invitations before her eyes. Oh my gosh. Nane Achiaki goes hunting. We lost 4. 20 people remain, just 4. And no teams are completely out yet. Everyone still has hope. But whose hope will falter? Well, we actually need to hit a saddest of all moments first for Corey, Shoka, Kyutaro, Fret. We're down to 20. Only 4 teams have lost somebody. Boom and Gloom, the champs, still completely in. Anthropologist still has Aiko. Grand Schemes completely in, so are Brute Force, Alice in Wonderland. Unhealthy Obsession still have Kanan. Broken Braids and Titty Typhoon completely in. The Met still have Nane Aichiaki. Do not count out Nane Aichiaki. Unhinged Commanders completely in. So are Trapper and Trappee, but do you remember just has Ryoko, but can she remember how to win? Can she remember how to win is the real question. She's done it in the past, but she needs to do it again to get everyone remembering. Let's find out if they will remember. Will this be a day that she will never forget? Let's find out. Let's proceed. It is night 1. Oh my gosh! Klee wakes up to find blood dripping from her hands, and Sakura, her own tag team partner Jataro, Claude, and Nagito are all dead. Klee she goes back to sleep. Oh my. Usami throws a Molotov and Lumine. The fire dissipates and she's still okay. Kokichi cuddles up against Satsuna. Mana overpowers Ryoko, killing her. Well, they will not be remembering today. Nane Achiaki puts her trust in Aiko, allows herself to fall backwards. Aiko does nothing, watches her fall down. How rude. Kanan works for both Avius, wears and despairs, and Yoko's out of his forces because she is in extreme debt. Am I in extreme debt? Is that why I'm working at both locations? The ghostly howls of wolves wake Alice up. The Raiden Shogun slices at Mew's eyes. She's now blind. Kyoko severely injures Dimitri but puts him out of his misery. Dimitri's out of this one, and Haiji's allergies keep him up all night. We started this night with a bang. With an immediate bang, and more people perished. As a result, we'll proceed. It is day 2. And we must continue as Haiji is stronger than he appears. Kanan reminisces about season 4. Klee sees Alice holding a meeting with Nane Achiaki, Kyoko, and Satsuna. Usami sips on apple cider. Delightful. Mana, Kokichi, and Aiko do the torture dance whilst torturing Lumine, and Mew asks the Raiden Shogun, do you think I'm some sort of clown? You know, she blinded you the last round, Mew. You're really you're gonna double down on that? The Raiden Shogun shrugs and just says, perhaps. We'll proceed, and unless there's an arena event, which there is not, correct? Oh, I called it. I called it. I'm testing the waters of my jinx for right now. We lost another 6. That brings us down to 14. As we hit the saddest of all moments for Sakura, Jataro, Claude, Nagito, Ryoko, Dimitri. We are close to the halfway point, but we're not quite there. Klee has 5 KOs, one of them being her own partner, but it has been said that me acknowledging that killing your partner is a valid strat jinxes that strat in itself, so I'm not gonna say it, but you guys know. Anthropology, Aiko. Grand Scheme still has Kokichi. You never count him out. Mana, still for Brute Force. Alice in Wonderland completely in. One of the 3 teams that are, I think. Unhealthy Obsession still have Kanan. Broken Braids has Kyoko and the Raiden Shogun. They're completely in. So are Titty Typhoon, Mew, and Lumine. The Mets still have Nane Achiaki. Unhinged Commanders have Haiji. Trapper and Trappee has Satsuna. Everyone still has somebody except for Do You Remember? We'll never forget them. However, we gotta find out who wins this one. Klee is now the only hope for a title retention. Can she hold on for Jataro, who's been playing out of his mind? Is she about to play out of her mind? She's got 13 other competitors to outlast to do it. Let's find out how this one unfolds. Let's proceed to see Night 2. Usami fires the truth bullet at Kokichi and exposes his lies. You need more than a truth bullet for that, Usami. You need a truth machine gun, a truth shotgun. You need a truth nuke. Get the truth nuke out in here for Kokichi. My gosh, Alice hates Mana so strongly they created a squad against Mana. Klee is an international super spy. Haiji and Setsuna get onto a balcony and watch the stars together. A starving Lumine trades nearly half her supplies for Aiko's loaf of bread. Mew is in the house. Kanan submits an application to join the squad. The Raiden Shogun snatches the application out of her hands and rips it up. Kyoko sets up a rival store for AV's wares and despairs. How could you? And Nane Chiaki acts Hiron. Oh, shockingly enough, nobody perished on this day. Nobody. Will anyone perish the next day? Yes, somebody will. Kyoko accidentally blurts out that she likes Usami in a non-platonic way. Usami declines the accidental confession, saying that she doesn't like her like that, which is fair because Usami is like supposed to be their teacher. Klee's trap kills Kanan. Klee is on a roll today. Alice isn't surprised that Mana's made it this far. She's got brute strength. She's got brute force. Mew sees completely pale. Haiji watches the shore unmoving, revives him with CPR, but doesn't stop when Haiji regains consciousness. Mew, stop! Get some help! Nane Chiaki drives up to McDonald's, wants an ice cream. Fortunately, it's working and she's got ice cream. How lucky! It's the Mets, baby! Kokichi slurps his fresh applesauce and ice. The Raiden Shogun washes their hands in the river. Setsuna and Lumine hunt for other tributes, and Aiko was crushed by a falling anvil. That's the end of her team today as well. As we proceed, we only lost 2. Which brings us perfectly to the halfway point. 2 more into your saving grace picks. And for right now, it's the saddest of all moments for Kanan, Aiko. We'll peek at everybody's statuses. 1 in 12 shot. Not for every team, because some teams technically have a 1 in 6 shot, and those teams are Alice in Wonderland, Broken Braids, and Titty Typhoon, the 3 teams that are completely in, but that doesn't discount and discredit Boom and Gloom, Klee with 6 KOs. Brute Force, Mana with 1 on her side. The Mets, Nane Chiaki, Form Rage into Chaos, not being so chaotic today, but just wait. A moment's notice, you could change everything. Haiji's still around, and so is Setsuna for the Chaos Transferal, which we have never seen before. Will it happen today? It's a possibility. Let me make sure I can count. Yes, there are indeed 12 people left. Are you ready to find out who wins this one live chat? How are your picks doing? Good, great, fantastic, not so great, poor, delightful, undelightful. I don't know how they're doing, but we're about to find out. Let's go on, let's proceed. It is time for night 3. And you know night 3 has a very special place in my heart. It's where all the chaos happens. Just check it out. Check out all this. Oh my gosh! Wait! Okay, well, let's start off with some chaos. Alice goes to the Love Hotel with Mew. Both die of exhaustion. Kokichi attacks Haiji, but Nane Chiaki protects him, killing Kokichi. Goodness gracious, Usami, Klee, Kyoko, and the Raiden Shogun tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Mana looks at the nighttime sky and Setsuna gives Lumine a glass of steaming hot poisoned cider. The entirety of Titty Typhoon out on this day. Kokichi, for grand scheme, out on this day. And we still have a day to get through, and that is day 4. But first, the feast? First, the feast. Oh my gosh! It's the final 3. The cornucopias will finish with food, weapons, and memoirs from the tributes families. Mana decides not to go. Usami's like, I'm not going either. Kyoko sets off an explosive, killing Klee. Klee, the last hope. Wait, where is it? There it is. The last hope for Jataro. Setsuna, the last hope for the Chaos Transferal. Her own partner, the Raiden Shogun, and non-AI Chiaki. And Haiji dies from an infection. We have a new champ alert. And we're at your final 3. Just like that, it's Mana, Brute Force, Usami, Alice in Wonderland, and Kyoko, Broken Braids. These are your final 3. Who's gonna come out on top? We still have a day to get through. It could end. It could end. We might not see saving grace picks. We really might not see saving grace picks. Mana, Usami, Kyoko, are you ending this one? Oh my. Oh me, oh my. I don't even have to ask you guys who, it's just over. Usami feigns death, but Mana sees right through it and kills her. And that leaves us with Mana and Kyoko, both staring each other down. Mano y mano, face to face. Instead of fighting each other, they decide to challenge me to end the game on their own accord. For Sakura and Tenka, for the Raiden Shogun, and for Shinra. They best me, they survive. For the second time ever, co-champions. Co-champions. Brute Force, Broken Braids. As we proceed, it ended immediately. And as we hit, last but not least, but not even, we don't even technically get a terrible turnabout. It's still like, we literally skipped everything, everything. Hey, the saddest of all moments for Alice, Mew, Kokichi, Lumine, Klee, Setsuna, Raiden Shogun, Nane Aichiaki, Haiji, Usami. This is it. This is, it's over. It's, when I say it's all over, it's all over. But you know what there's a lot of things that this means. First and foremost, we'll see everybody's statuses. There's only 2 people left. They decided to win this thing together, and they sure did. So without further ado, you're not winner, you're winners. Mana had something to prove, and you know what? So did Kyoko. Kyoko, who had never held gold, and Mana, who was bested in the ladder match at AV Mania. These two, and their failures, stand tall together as your victors. For a second time in this series, the black and white tag team titles are split into 2, and so your winners and new champions. 2-time tag team champion. Mana, Sakura, Tenko, Brute Force, and for the first time, tag team champions, Raiden Shogun, Shinra, and Kyoko. All of a sudden, it ends in a moment. You know what? It's the spiciest of RNG. 5. Just like that. It's all over. Brute Force takes the titles for a second time. Broken Braids take the titles for the first time. Congratulations to both teams. This was a show of shows. Day 4! The Feast, Night 3 and Day 4, chaotic. Chaotic to say the least. We must proceed. Once again, congratulations now to, I don't know which team is gonna hold which half of the titles. The last time we did it, like you see Klee, right? Well, I mean, you'll see it at this point. I'm not entirely sure yet. Klee has the black and white title, you know, symbolizing, you know, Monokuma, Danganronpa Hunger Games split into 2. When we have co-champions and tag team action, the white half titles and the black half titles, the light and dark titles, is what we called them in the past. I don't know which team is gonna hold which ones, but both teams are considered tag team champions. That being said, Setsuna and Nagito also now have a grander role. If both teams are present, they spin the wheel twice. Which means, in the Meet the Teams episode, they're gonna be spinning the wheel twice. Which is unfortunate for our tag team champions. And there's also the caveat where if one team is present and chaos reigns, they drag the other team in as well, unifying the titles. So it is up to Setsuna and Nagito for for the title unification match, but for right now, Brute Force and Broken Braids, they enjoy the splendor and the glory of victory. Congratulations to Mana and Kyoko, for Sakura and Tenko, and for Shinha, and for the Raiden Shogun. You'll love to see it. Third place was Usami. Alice in Wonderland tried to become a 3-time tag team champion but could not do it today. Haiji in 4th. Nadia Chaki in 5th for the Mets. 6th place Broken Braids. 7th Trapper and Trappee. Klee in 8th. Lumine 9th. And rounding off your top 10, Kokichi. It's all over. This premiere. It's over. But first we check out the summary because it all started with Usami taking out Corey, and Usami almost lasted the entire time, but perished to Mana, and Mana said, you know what, Kyoko? Let's do this together. They won it together. Congratulations to them. Brute Force, Broken Braids, Tag Team Champions. You love to see it. Proceed one more again. Klee was actually playing out of her mind. Can't say anything about that. Can't say anything bad about Klee, but Kyoko at the feast waited for the prime opportunity, took 5 people out in the very next night, claimed tag team gold for her team. Congratulations once again to Kyoko, and once again to Mana. Tag team co-champions. We've seen it once before. We're about to see it again. We'll go back to the reaping, we'll go back to the reaping, we'll go back to the reaping, we'll go back to the reaping. You'll love to see it. This is when I say the only now 3 teams that are staying together this season are Brute Force, Broken Braids, and Trapper and Trappee. What does that mean? That means that everyone else is fair game to split up. So you tell me one last time if you have any tag team ideas before I finish putting them all off together, because they shouldn't be done yet. They're not done yet by the time this premieres, but by like Sunday night, they will 100% be like finalized. So if you have any lingering tag team ideas, put them in there. Put them in there on the Discord, in the link in the description, the tag team suggestion box. Go ahead and do it, because those teams will be fighting against Broken Braids. Those teams will be fighting against Brute Force. We'll have to wait and see who comes out on top. Until this Sunday for an OC doubleheader. Aika defends her OC championship, and Catch 'Em All defends the Danganronpa Hunger Games OC Tag Team Championships. Just wait for it. This Sunday, doubleheader. It'll be absolutely glorious. And last but not least, if you are really looking forward to that episode Sunday, the OC submissions are now open in the description as well. Go ahead and check those out. Enter your OCs if you so please. Until then, United States Savior taking off. Toodaloo, Flight Crew. Thanks for watching.